Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new indie authors. Find us on any major podcast system, Amazon TV, and YouTube. Join Mary Ann Faremouth for today's show.
Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show. My name is Mary Ann Faremouth, and I'm delighted to be here tonight. We welcome you to our wonderful platform of authors all over the world. And today I have the distinct honor to visit with an author that has written a book that is really about an art form that has been with us through the ages. And it's something we all know and probably do. And it's about dance. And today I'm going to talk to Bridgette Stubbs, who's written a wonderful book, a beautiful book, that's titled Flowing Under the Shadow of the Almighty. And welcome, Bridgette.
Thank you.
Yourself, and tell us how you got on this path of liturgical dance.
Well, actually, when it came to liturgical dance, I've been dancing all of my life on drill teams, and as a child, as a young teenager, you listen to music on the radio, and whatever the latest dances are, I've always danced. I did not start liturgical dance until I was in my mid-20s. The church that I joined around 25 years old had a dancer. I saw her dance by herself, and I knew that it was something, it really resonated with me because I was looking at that time for something to do in the church, but it had to be something that I had a passion for. And so I realized then that because I love to dance, I saw that there was a type of dance that I could do in the church for God, to show God, my gratitude for him and to be of some service, some type of service. So that's how I started in the dance ministry, and that's how I started in liturgical dance back in 1997.
Well, that's a wonderful, and I think so many people right now, Bridgette, can relate to your story because so many people are looking for some kind of healing modality in a way. And I think through the ages, dance has been an art form that is it's expression of self. But in other, many cultures, it's been an art form that does pay homage to a higher being. And I think that, we all can all relate right now, especially in last 2020 and last year with the pandemic. So many of us were looking for mindfulness practices, whether it be yoga or Tai Chi or even, or dance. So do you find, Bridgette, that this last year, your book or your practice got a little more attention because people are searching for something to kind of help them deal with so much negativity? Did you find that?
Yes, I think so, because even if you are an aspiring dancer and you may not be, actively practicing it in some form, I just believe that the music that you listen to, the worship music, and if you just begin to move in a flow of movement, it can be sort of like a personal prayer maybe, but I do think that it will help those who are struggling with some type of anxiety, and this may be the thing to push or catapult people into actually stepping out, who've always wanted to dance for God, and this is their time to practice until they get up, the nerve to actually do it before people.
Well, the thing that I think that one of the aspects of your story to me is so beautiful is that you started off by saying you had a passion. You had a passion to do this. But what I think is so wonderful is, yes, you had a passion and you did what your passion was. But more importantly, you took that passion and you wrote a book about it to help others and to make a contribution to the greater good. And
Yes.
your book, and I have read your book, you talk about the 5 laws of dance. Can you share that with our listeners, Bridgette? What are the 5 laws of dance?
Yes, I believe because of the preparation that has to take place if you're going to do anything for God or in any type of ministry. I just kind of broke it down into 5. I call them 5 laws. I've never heard it put that way. I do believe that it was just the Holy Spirit who gave it to me in that manner. But these are just 5 ways to prepare your heart to do whatever it is you want to do for God. It doesn't always have to be about dance, but whatever you want to do for God, just to show your appreciation and to do it out of self. It's not something that you do for a show. Prayer is definitely the one thing that you do. Meditating on God's word and just some, basic fasting. Everyone doesn't know anything much about fasting. Different churches teach it in different ways. But those are just some things just to get your spirit prepared for the sanctity and the holiness that you want to present before God's people, but to God.
What a beautiful way to present it. And I see that you've gone into nursing homes and helped people and done your dance. And I've read studies that many people now are using dance, as I said, for healing modalities. And what happens when you go in these nursing homes, Bridgette? Do the people kind of come alive, or they want to come dance with you, or what happens?
Well, I never thought about dancing in a nursing home, but I've always been open to go out wherever I'm invited. And I'm always up to a new challenge. Sometimes you're uncomfortable of doing something that you're not, of course, that's not, that you've never done before. So when I was asked to come out to the nursing home, I knew that when the elderly, because a lot of times they don't get visitors, no one comes to see them, and no one gives them any attention or acknowledge them. But I did feel that if I came before them in movement and with my heart being sincere, to really want them to kind of, how can I put this? Maybe get into the same space or headspace that I'm in. I just felt that the genuineness that I have for God, all of God's people, and to, want to lighten up, the elderly, make them feel more alive in some way. I just believe that I could do that through dance because if your heart is genuine and you really want to do something for someone else, I believe that they will see that, and they will come to come to a place of just feeling God's love. And that's what I aim to do, is to show God's love.
That's wonderful. I think too that dance allows us somehow to become more at peace. It's, they talk so much about meditation these days and getting in alignment. And I think that dance can help a person get to that same kind of place. And do you feel, Bridgette, after you do your particular liturgical dance, that you have a different feeling, or your anxiety level is down, or do you feel it helps you calm down in some ways?
Well, actually, the preparation that I take upon myself, it helps me to kind of put all of whatever frustrations, anxiety, any type of, distractions that I may have in my life, whatever that thing may be. When I concentrate and focus and think about what my assignment is, or what I feel my assignment is at that time for dance, all of that is like put on the back burner, and it seems minute. It's not something that's as enlarged in my view. I mean, if I can say it that way, it's not that your problems go away, but there's something more important than sometimes what you're going through.
I think we have a couple of minutes before we have to stop for our sponsors, but I think so much of this, Bridgette, in a metaphorical way, life is a dance, right? Sometimes we twist and shout, sometimes we waltz, sometimes we, it's a dance. I mean, every different points in our life, we're doing a different dance. Mm-hmm. So in a metaphorical way, it really kind of mimics or mirrors what we all go through as we go on our journey in life. And how beautiful that you wrote a book about it to help people understand it, and that they can use this art form, this modality in a way to help them become better. And I think that's what I got from your book that I thought was so wonderful. All right, let's take a break right now, and we're going to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Authors Marketing Guild, a membership-owned company where authors can learn how to better market and sell their books. Join us at authorsmarketingguild.com.
Factor 7, the newest thriller by author J.D. May, will keep you turning the pages with mystery, betrayal, lies, and infidelity. Ripped from the headlines, Factor 7 follows two prominent doctors who uncover a clandestine plot to spread a bioweapon with a 98% mortality rate. Journey with them as they experience a world of murder, power, intrigue, and corruption, where it becomes deadly clear that exposing the truth is just as dangerous as the weapon they seek to expose.
Hi, I'm Mel Greenberg, author of Running with Our Eyes Closed, book 1 in the Empty Nested series. To the world, Samantha has the perfect life. 3 wonderful children, a loving husband, so she thought, and a life split between Dallas and Italy. When her youngest leaves for college, it all comes crashing down, forcing Samantha to re-examine everything. Over 7 days in one of the most romantic countries in the world, Samantha faces the past she thought she'd overcome and begins to redefine her role as a woman, a wife, and a mother.
Do you send book sales to a company that takes most of your money? Do you want a bookstore that supports you? Want to earn more money from your book sales? Introducing a bookstore for indie authors and small press only. Earn up to 80% of your book sales and learn how to better market yourself. Join the 150 authors already signed up to earn their fair share at b4r.store. Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new indie authors. Find us on any major podcast system, Amazon TV, and YouTube. Join Mary Ann Faremouth for today's show.
Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show. My name is Mary Ann Faremouth, and I'm the hostess for this particular segment. I have the honor today to have with me the gifted author, Bridgette Stubbs, who's written a beautiful book about dance. Not just any kind of dance, about liturgical dance. And Bridgette, we've talked before a little bit about, some of the things in your book. And I know when we talked the other day, we talked about, the different aspects of the chapters of your book. But you told me that you have another idea, another project about dance that you're hoping to launch. Can you share some of that with our listeners?
Yes, I was just really recently, probably a couple of months ago, maybe 3 months ago, I have an idea that because I do teach small children, the youth, I teach them dance. I actually work with the local church and to help them form their dance ministry. So I knew that my book needed to be expanded in a sense to reach a younger audience who are just starting to read, youth probably starting at age 8 or 9. I've written it. I'm starting to write now, and to write it in a manner where a young mind could receive it. So it's not as I tried to take a lot of maybe large words or words that a 8-year-old wouldn't understand. I took those type of words out of the youth version of Flowing Under the Shadow of the Almighty, so that a younger audience will be able to read the book and get the same concept that I give the adults in the original form of Flowing Under the Shadow of the Almighty.
Well,
And that would be, hopefully it will come out published. I hope to publish it maybe early March of this year.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think working with the youth and in some ways it's a rite of passage for a youth to know that they have the ability to self-express.
Yes.
I know when I was a young girl, 4, 5, and 6, my mother put me in ballet. But she put me in ballet because she said it was for me to become poised, for me to understand balance. And then I was in tap and I did modern jazz. But in some ways, it's a way for a child, a young person, to kind of unwind, to kind of, after a long day at school, to kind of do something kind of fun and move around and yet feel like you're doing something of self-expression, don't you think?
Yes, and this is something else, the youth in the church oftentimes don't have. There's not many ministries or things they can participate and express themselves. So this is a way, for them to be expressive.
And I think the other thing too with children is it's about some kind of faith-based foundation, that we're all under the presence of some higher power, that we're all human, that we're all in this world together, And I think starting off at a young age to help them understand that, I think it's good for so many things, don't you?
I do. I believe that.
And is there a way that you're going to get the people in the younger people to see this or to know about it? Are you going to work with the schools and try to get the books in the schools? Have you thought about that?
Yes, I've thought about getting my book into the local libraries, and some other platforms also.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. And so the biggest thing this year with this pandemic and your book, do you feel that it's helped you connect with more people because people are searching right now for some kind of a modality or element to bring peace? Do you think it's helped you in some ways to reach out to so many different kinds of people too?
Yeah, I try to network as much as possible. I have created other outlets, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, and of course, I have a not only my personal Facebook page, but I have a dance page. So I try to accept new friends, via the Facebook and other outlets, so that I can network and just reach a broader audience. And you never know, and any person I come in contact with, if they mention anything about dance, the first thing I do is I talk about, how what are they doing in dance, or what do they know about dance. So any opportunity that I get to speak with, the youth, anyone, male or female, about dance, I take those opportunities.
Well, that's wonderful. You talked about the mobile unit too. You have a mobile unit, and sometimes you go to different places. Now, I know with the pandemic, we're somewhat limited in where we can go and how many people we can be around. But tell us about that mobile unit. And I think you said, or what I read was that you, on your website, was that you work with individuals, but you also work with groups. And tell us about that.
Yes. I'm willing to work with anyone, individuals or groups, who are trying to form a dance ministry, or someone just, actually, I've had someone to contact me recently, just one individual who wants to learn how to flow in movement and dance. So as of yet, I do not have a building, a structure to invite people in. So I am, willing to go out to different churches, which I'm already, well, since the pandemic, I'm not. But I have, traveled to different churches and ministries to help them and consult them in forming their ministry. And I go out to someone's home if I'm in a space where I'm comfortable, and to teach or work with an individual. Yes, I'm mobile in that manner.
So in some ways, ceremonial dance has been an art form that's been around for many years. Would you say that this is a ceremonial dance, but it's paying homage to the Almighty, and that's kind of the way we would look at liturgical dance, as a ceremonial dance, or not?
Well, when I think of ceremonial, yes, definitely it's something that you're doing in honor. It's a privilege to be able to move, to physically move, and and because we know that God gives us our abilities. This is some way that you can honor God. So I look at it in that manner. It's just definitely just a way to honor Him, because I am able to move, and the worship. When you're moving before God, I teach about the worship aspect of it, to always be conscious and aware of your worship and your honor to God as you dance.
Well, I think that's just an amazing thing. I mean, as a little girl, like I said, dancing, I just have a real fascination and interest in what you do. But I also think that, the movement and even, exercise or dance, it allows the endorphins to kind of move around, which is a way for us to kind of feel better and more positive. And I think we all need that right now.
Yes.
There's so much fear in the world.
Yes.
There's so much fear about, what's going to come next, or how are we going to deal. And I think the beautiful thing that the pandemic, I think, has taught all of us, Bridgette, and tell me if you agree, is that it's not so much about accomplishment or achievement. That's important, but it's about human connection. How can we all work together and help each other?
That's
and
true.
The beautiful thing that you're doing is to help people, learn how to move, learn how to work together, learn how to express themselves in a way that pays homage and interrelates their faith. And I think that at the end of the day, that faith-based, that human connection is what life's about, don't you?
Yes, yes, and to help those who, may be struggling a little bit with, self-esteem, to help them to kind of come to themselves, and to, you know, j- help them to understand that they are created, there is a purpose for them, and dance can help a person's self-esteem. If someone is helping them come to a place where they are comfortable with the gifts that God has given them that they may not even been aware of, this could be a way to help someone.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. And I see all kinds of partnerships that you could form. I mean, I'm a recruiter. I'm a career consultant. And
Mhm.
sometimes I have people coming to me and they're just lost. And they're like, so closed. And I think that, this dance or this liturgical dance or your book maybe could help them open up and feel a little bit more that they're okay. It's okay to be expressive. It's okay to move and let your the rhythm come out, or your feelings or motion come out. So I think what you're doing is a great thing. All right, let's take another commercial break and talk with our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Lone Star Festival, where Texas authors, artists, and creatives come together for a Texas-sized event. Join us on May 29, 2021 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Seguin Coliseum, Seguin, Texas. Free for everyone. Produced by Texas Authors Institute of History. Sponsored by B4R.store, Authors Marketing Guild, and the City of Seguin. More information at lonestar.bookfestival.network.
Hi, I'm Rox Berkey. I write the Enigma series with my co-author. We write as Brakefield and Berkey. Today we have 12 books in this series, with The Enigma Threat being the newest release on January the 8th of 2021. It's an exciting book that goes to the next generation, and we hope that you'll check it out and all the other books in the Enigma series. Thank you.
Join us for the 6th Annual Authors Marketing Event in Granbury, Texas on July 23rd to the 25th, 2021, where authors share ideas and learn from the professionals over a 2-day weekend. Receive your book marketing certification from the only organization in the world that has been doing it for 5 years, Authors Marketing Guild, a membership-based organization that supports authors from around the world. Learn more at ame.authorsmarketingguild.com. Sponsored by indielector.store, a bookstore that pays authors their fair share. Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new indie authors. Find us on any major podcast system, Amazon TV, and YouTube. Join Mary Ann Faremouth for today's show.
Welcome back to the Indie Beacon Show. My name is Mary Ann Faremouth, and I'm the hostess for this segment. And I have the pleasure today to be with Bridgette Stubbs, our author of this beautiful book called Flowing Under the Shadow of the Almighty. We've talked a lot about the contents of the book and the many benefits of reading this book for so many people, for adults, and soon for younger people with our new book, your new book coming out. But Bridgette, if you had to give me one summary line of what you feel someone can get from reading this book, what would it be?
I believe that it is a reference. It's a guide. It's a reference that all dancers, anyone who aspire to dance, whether it's in the church or not, I believe that it could be something to help you get an understanding, first of all, of why God created us. One aspect of why He created us is to worship, but definitely this guide can help those dancers who may not know how to express themselves, didn't know that there was a certain type of dance that you could do to express yourself, under in the presence of God, or in a structured religion, I guess you can put it that way. But it's a guide to give you an understanding of how to dance and prepare yourself, prepare your heart for God's dance.
And also a way of feeling that you accept yourself and you're happy with who you are, and not afraid to express it. How about that? I think that's in there too.
That is one point that I do make. Of you need to be completely, try to be, when you realize who you are, don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid of whatever way that God has given you to express yourself in dance. And that can be taken, not only in dance, but in all areas of life. Just be who you are.
And I think the other beautiful thing in this book is that you express that, but then you tell people, and you can go out to others and minister this to them and have them understand that they can share this gift or share this, this dance area or dance part of their lives with somebody else and help somebody else. So it's taking that gift and sharing with somebody else.
Yes.
All right, tell us where we can find your book.
You can find them. I'm on at Amazon.com. I'm also with thebookpatch.com. And if you don't want to go to those outlets to get the book, you can go to my website at beststyleliturgical.wixsite.com/dance, and you can pre-order a book with me, and I can ship it out to you.
Wonderful. Well, Bridgette, we are just so thrilled to have you at the Indie Beacon show and part of the wonderful platform here that we have with authors all over the world. And you're certainly a welcomed addition. And I appreciate so much you sharing your beautiful story with us. And y'all, please look for Bridgette. I looked at her website. Go to Amazon.com. The name of the book, again, is called Flowing Under the Shadow of the Almighty. And we certainly hope you all will continue to view the Indie Beacon shows. We are here to exhibit authors and help authors grow and share their beautiful stories with the world. So thank you very much for this privilege. And Bridgette, we hope we see you in Granbury at our convention, which is a wonderful event. All right. Thank you so much. Bridgette.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Indie Beacon shows, produced by B. Allen Bourgeois for the Authors Marketing Guild, LLC, copyright 2021. Voiceover by Randy James and B. Allen Bourgeois. If you would like to be a sponsor of this show, please reach out to us at info@authorsmarketingguild.com. If you'd like to be on the show, please complete the form at radio.authorsmarketingguild.com. Music is Always Rejoice by Rampart of Ukraine.